Om Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankara-Acharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalaspatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivamupaasmahe. Om Shri Hayagrivaaya Namaha. Om Shri Vallabha Sameta Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. We were looking at the topic of the ahankArasya abhivyanjakatvam. Okay, so that is the topic. ahankArasya ajnana ashrayatvam samvidaha ajnana vishayatvancha. In this topic, that ahankara itself is the one which manifests the Chaitanya Pratibimba. So that is the topic. In this, we just went into whether really any Pratibimba is manifested by the reflecting media or not. The mirror was taken and the reflection of the face in the mirror is being argued here. The Purva Pakshi is saying that basically what they are saying is both mirror and face are jada. So you cannot say one jada is manifesting the other jada. Okay, that is their argument. Therefore, they are proposing something called Chakshush Tejaha. This Chakshush Tejaha alone is actually revealing, and it is not that, or it is only manifesting the Pratibimba. Okay, that itself is called a dosha also by them. It is a defect in your eye, basically, which is revealing the Pratibimba. Like that, there is a theory. Now, against it only we are arguing. And so the argument, what we are saying is, even though the darpana, the mirror and face are both jada, still the mirror has a certain quality to manifest. And this chakshush, tejas, etc., first you have to establish that it is there, correct? So we don't even accept that whatever you are proposing. So that whatever kalpana you are doing, it is not proper. That kalpana is not tenable. We argued that till now. Now we are continuing. Okay, here you can see Nanu Darpane Mukha Dehe Pratipalanam iti astu. Okay, now the Purva Pakshi is saying that, okay, you are saying this Pratipalanam is there. The Darpana only is reflecting the face. It is not due to some dosha called Chakshush Tejaha. So he is also saying Chakshusha Teja Pratipalanam Mastu. Okay. Let it not be that the Chakshusha Tejaha is the one which is actually reflecting. Even then he is saying Tathapi na darpanasya swatmastha pratimukha abhivanjakatvam kintu alokadehe eva iti. So now they are saying, no, that whatever the reflection we are seeing, it is not because the mirror is manifesting the reflection. It is because of the light. Because without light, you cannot see anything anyway. So light is the one which is the abhivyanjaka, not the darpana. This is the argument now. Okay. But light is the light is a sahakari for any jnanam, correct? Whether it is bimba or pratibimba. In darkness, anyway, you cannot see anything. So what we accept that light is a sahakari. Without the light's help, anyway, you cannot see anything, whether it is bimba or pratibimba. So he is saying, but if you say that light is the abhivyanjaka, that is not true. Ma evam. Why? It's not like that. Because alokadi sahakritasya eva darpanasya mukhadi pratibimba grahitvena tad abhivyanjakatvat. We accept that the sahakritasya, alokadi sahakritasya darpana, the darpana, the mirror which is aided by light, etc. Alokadi also, because you also require your eyes to see anyway. So there are sahakari karanas are there, but darpana is, we can say, asadharanam karanam, karanam and all, even the Nayayikas define, correct? It is the extraordinary cause, you can say. Light is anyway required, whether you see the reflection or the original. Okay. So, आलोकादि सहकृतस्य एव दर्पणस्य मुखादि प्रतिबिंब ग्राहित्वेन तद अभिव्यंजकत्वा. So the mukha, etc., its reflection is grasped by the mirror, and then it manifests that. But you require the light, etc., also for that to happen. We accept that the aid of the requirement of light is fine. Okay. Further, what nahi alokadi abhave darpana matram mukadi pratibimba grahi bhave. So if the aloka, the light is not there, the mirror alone cannot manifest the pratibimba. You cannot see anything. In fact, both bimba and pratibimba cannot be seen without light. Now, once we say this, what nanu alokadi sahakritaha eva darpane mukhadi pratipalanamastu. Okay, let it be that the light is aiding. Even then, what tathapi darpanasya prati mukhadi vyanjakatvam tu na iti chet. Okay, so even if you accept that the light is only an aid, still we cannot accept that the mirror is the one which is manifesting the reflection. That is not possible, is what they are saying. Iti chet ma evam. No, we say that it is possible. Why? Because this is where this ajnata satta, jnata satta and all is important. What we are saying is the pratibimba does not have any ajnata satta. When you are not, see, you can say that the light is manifesting something which is hidden by darkness, if it is already existing. But that is not the case for pratibhasika vastu, or even whatever is known only by sakshi bhasya, correct? Sukha, dukha, etc. are known, and also they are there only when they are known. Even the sukha dukhadi, which are there only in your mind, correct? Which are only sakshi bhasya. Similarly, even the pratibhasika vastu like Raju Sarpa, etc., are only known when they are appearing. Similarly, pratibimba also is known only when they are appearing, and therefore light is not a asadharana karana there. But light is aiding. So, but the mirror alone is the abhivyanjaka. So that's what he is explaining here. He is saying Rajju Sarpa vat ajnata satta ka pratibimbasya darpane sthiti ayoga. See, you cannot say it is already there in the darpana, the pratibimba, and light only actually manifests it. That is not possible, because we don't accept ajnata satta for the pratibimba, like even for the Rajju Sarpa. Therefore, what darpanasya yet sampratipannam mukhadi pratibimba grahitvam tadeva mukhadi pratibimba abhivyanjakatvam api. So what we are saying is the darpana is able to grasp. Here grahitvam means they are making a differentiation between the darpana holding the original, correct, or the reflection, and the reflection getting known or getting manifest. What we are saying is they both are same only. Whatever you call as grahitvam, or the holding of the original in the form of reflection in the mirror itself, also because of that only, even it is, we are saying it is manifesting it. We don't make a difference between the two. So yet some whatever is accepted, that mukha, etc., are seen only in the mirror. None of us can deny that, because that is an experience. Only whatever the explanation we are giving is, what we are saying is, you don't have to propose any chakshusha tejaha to account for that, simply we say that like any other vastu which is known with the aid of aloka and other indriyas like eyes, it is also known. That's it. So the grahitvam alone is abhivyanjakatvam also. So tadeva mukhadi pratibimba abhivyanjakatvam api. Therefore, what atayeva chaitanya abhivyanjakatvam nama ahankarasya chaitanya pratipalana grahitvam eva iti uktam abhiyuktaihi. So abhiyuktaihi, by the wise people it is said. What is said? That the very reflection, correct, of the Chaitanyam itself is also the manifestation of Chaitanya. That is what, in fact, the Pravesha Shruti and all is talking about that only. It is the place where, or the locus of recognition. Your Chaitanya is available in the Ahankara always as the Pratibimba, and there itself the Bimba also can be recognized because the Pratibimba is there. Because in one way, if you look at it, the Pratibimba is not different from the Bimba. That's what we have to understand. So it is the locus of recognition. That is what Bhashyakara says. If you go and read even the Pravesha Shruti, Bhashya is there in different Upanishads. Everywhere what we finally establish is that even Pratibimba and all, whatever we say, you should not take it literally. And if you start extending it and say how can Brahman be reflected, and whether the reflecting media itself has to be separate from the reflected object for it to be reflected, like that you can give, you can oppose that. In fact, Bhashyakara himself does that. If you take the Brihadaranyaka Bhashya, I think 147, where the Pravesha Shruti is there, he first argues that it cannot be a Pratibimba. Because Brahman being everywhere, where is the question of it being reflected? But then it is as though reflection, finally we have to say. It is, everything is as though only. It's all Maya. That's why Maya is very important. Agatita Gatana Patiyasi Maya, when we say, it's all only Maya. So Maya, these things are possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Even Adhyasa itself is not possible, correct? That's how the Adhyasa Bhashya starts. If you look at it logically, it is not possible, but it is already there. So you have to go along with that, correct? And find out that it is not there really. That is the idea anyway. So here, this ahankara also, whatever the pratipalanam it does of the chaitanyam, that what is the manifestation also. It manifests, it reflects, you can say, or it whatever. It is basically the locus where the chaitanya is available for recognition. Therefore, what? Bhavatu va darpanasya swapratipalita mukha anabhivyanjakatvam jadatvat katam punaha ahankarasya tat. Okay, let it be, even let us say darpana need not be the one which manifests the mukha in its own, the reflection, correct? So pratipalita mukha means what? The face which is reflected by itself, let it not be the one which manifests it, because you can say it is jada. But for ahankara, you cannot say that, is the another argument he is making. So bhavatu va means, okay, let me concede that ahankara is not manifesting, but even then it does not really affect my siddhanta. That's what we are trying to say now. So we don't have to stretch the face reflection analogy too much. Let us even say that, okay, face cannot manifest anything by itself. Sorry, the face cannot be manifested by the mirror, because mirror itself is jada. But still ahankara is not jada. Why? Because ahankaraha hi chaitanya pratipalana grahi san ajadaha eva jataha. See, the very fact that the chaitanya is reflecting in the ahankara, or it is manifesting there, it has become now ajada. Because the ahankara upayita chaitanya is there. The upayita chaitanya being there, ahankara is no more jada. Okay. So ajadaha eva jataha, it has become ajada. But in the case of Darpana, what? Darpanadi Vastu, na Mukhadi Pratipalana Grahi, San Ajadaha Jataha. So the Darpana, etc., does not become Ajada, correct? By reflecting the face, it still remains Jada only, because what it is reflecting also is Jada. The mirror is reflecting a face is Jada, mirror also is Jada. By reflecting that, it does not become Ajada. But Ahankara is reflecting Chaitanyam. And therefore, the Chaitanya Pratipalana itself makes the Ahankara also Ajada, because that Upahita Chaitanya is there. So that's why there is a difference here. Everywhere, the Drishtanta and Dashtantika should have a difference, correct? Everything cannot be same. Then there is no question of saying that this is an analogy for that. Analogy is only in some respects. We have to understand that always. You cannot extend it too much and then get confused or even raise objections. Finally, Shruti is the Pramana. We have to accept that. And whatever all these things we are doing is all only Upadeshad Ayam Vadaha, like Gaudapadacharya says. It is all for you to finally understand the one Ekameva Advitiyam Brahma as Atma. So, anyway, so here the point is that Mukha and the Mukha Pratibimba are different, you can say, because both are the Darpana also is Jada, Mukha also is Jada. So Swapratipalita Darpanadehe Jadatva. So in fact it should be Jadatvat here, I think. Here it is printed as Ajadatvat, it doesn't make any sense here. Okay. Further what? Ahankara Pratipalitam Chaitanyam tu na Jadam. So the Ahankara Pratipalitam Chaitanyam is not Jada. Therefore, what katam iti katam swabhasa ahankarasya ajadasya swatmasta anubhuti anabhivyanjakatvam iti. So therefore, we are asking, how can you say that it cannot manifest anabhivyanjakatvam katam? Like that we are questioning. Because the ahankara which is having the chaitanya abhasa, that how can you say that it cannot manifest whatever the chaitanya pratipalana which is happening in itself? That should be possible, because what is being reflected is the Chaitanyam itself in this case. That is not Jada. Therefore, what Tasmad Ahankaraha Swatmastham Eva Anubhuti Abhivyanakti. So, therefore, we finally conclude the Ahankara is the one which manifests whatever Chaitanya, the Anubhuti, which is there in itself, which is manifesting in itself or which is reflecting in it. Further, what Yeduktam Samvidhi Tadrisha dosha apadanam na sambhavati iti tadayuktam. Okay, now you say that getting reflected itself is a dosha, let us say, because like I said, always you can say, how can this Brahman, which is all pervading, enter this ahankara? How can it do the pravesha? Whether it does the pravesha really or as pratibimba, etc., it doesn't make any sense. You can argue that. Okay. That's why finally we have to say it is all only pratibimbavat. Pratibimbam eva. Everything is eva. Eva is the most important thing. So once they say no, no, this kind of a reflection and all is not at all possible for consciousness. Na sambhavati, samvidhi, tadrisha dosha. It is a defect. Getting reflected also is a defect. Then it will become parichinna and all that you can say. Correct? Only one parichinna vastu can be reflected like this. You can argue. Okay, but Upadhi Vashat, we have to say finally. See, even the Akasha is all pervasive, but still it can get reflected in water. Correct? The water itself is in Akasha, and still it is reflecting the Akasha. Even though Akasha itself is all pervading and indivisible and all that we say, that is there. Even in the Vyavahara, we can give an analogy like that. Okay. So here what na sambhavati when you say, but we say that is ayukta, you cannot say that, it is not tenable, whatever your objection. Why? Kim vastutaha na sambhavati yadva vyavaharataha. That's what we are asking. So whenever you make any objection like this, whether it is in reality or it is in vyavahara. In reality, if you say the Chaitanya can never be reflected and all that, we agree. In fact, we ekameva advitiyam vastu. Where is the question of any reflection, etc.? So adhyaha ishtaha eva. It is ishta for us. Vastutaha na sambhavati. We also accept. But vyavaharataha, you have to accept. Na dvitiyaha. But not vyavaharataha. Why? Maya, sarva sambhavat. With Maya, everything is possible. It's all Maya. So Maya hi ahankare samvidam pratiphalayati. The Maya alone makes the Chaitanya reflect in the ahankara. It's all Maya. Ajnanam Maya. In that Maya avastha, everything is possible. Okay, once we say this, now they are changing track. Okay, what is the argument now? Nanu jnana tat sadhanayoho anugrahakasya cha यथावस्थित पदार्थ प्रतीति अनुगुण स्वभाव्यात् न अहंकारस्य आत्म प्रतिफलित अनुभूति व्यंजकत्वम इति मा एवं. Okay, what now they are arguing is, see, jnana and its sadhana, correct, whether it is eyes and mind, etc. So sadhanayoho anugrahakasya cha, and that again there are other aiding factors like light, etc. All of them, what should they do? Means yatavastita padartha pratiti anuguna swabhavyat, they are saying. Means the pratiti, the cognition, should reveal what? Yatavastita padartha, they are saying. Means the padartha should be there really. Whatever is there, only it should reveal. Okay. In fact, the Vishishtadvaitins claim that yathartham sarvam jnanam. They say that all jnana is yathartha. In one way, they don't accept. Even they say that whatever shell silver, let us say, means they are saying there is some amount of silver in shell also because of Panchikaranam or some argument like that they give, which is very weird. So the real silver only is there in the shell also, even though it is in a very minute quantity. But when you see the adhyasa, that real silver only you are seeing like that. Yathartham sarvam jnanam is their siddhanta. So they don't accept. Jnanam means it has to be yathartham. They say that. So yatavastita padartha pratiti has to be there. So the swarupa of the jnanam, the swabhava is what? It is having this yatavastita padartha pratiti. Anuguna swabhavyat. Therefore what? The jnana has to be like that. Means ahankArasya atma pratipalita anubhuti vyanjakatvam na. It cannot be there. Correct? Na ahankArasya, because the pratipalana is not real. Then how can it give that jnana? Whatever is real only it has to reveal. But you yourself say that the reflection is not real. Bimba alone is real. Pratibimba is not real. Means how can it then manifest the or reveal the pratibimba? It should not be possible. So they are arguing on this basis. Now means ma evam. Why? Because what we say is, what you give that lakshana is good for prama. Correct? Prama rupa jnana dehe eva tat swabhavyam. Whatever the nature of jnana which you are saying, that it has to be along with whatever that the real vastu alone it has to reveal. That is okay. That is for prama. But what about brahma? Brahma also is there. So in brahma it is not applicable. Na aprama rupa jnana dehe iti. That is, but that whatever the swabhavyam, the nature you are talking about, that's not true for aprama or brahma, erroneous cognition. All cognition need not be valid, but ahankara can be an ashraya for both prama and brahma. Okay. So that's what we are saying. Prama rupam cha. Jnanam anadigata abhaditartha vishayam. So this is the standard definition of jnanam, correct? Even in Vedanta Paribhasha, you can go and read the jnanam. How do we look at jnanam? Anadigatam abhaditam. That is the jnana lakshana. It has to reveal something unique. It has to have a unique field of revelation, and whatever is revealed can never be negated. That is how we have the characteristic or the definition of jnanam is like that. We accept Brahma has to have these characteristics, but not Brahma, because Brahma is Badita. And in this case, what do we say? For the Vedantin, only Brahman alone is Yathartha Jnanam, correct? Brahma Jnanam alone is Yathartha Jnanam. Every other Jnanam is Badita only. Even though the Vyavaharika Jnanam, we say within Vyavahara it is Abadita. But the entire Vyavahara itself is Badita. Like saying the dream Jnanam is valid within dream. But once you wake up, the entire dream is Badita, correct? Along with it, everything is gone. So here he is saying Sacha Vishayaha Pratyek Abhinam Brahmaikam Eva. So Brahman alone, which is not separate from your Pratyek Atma, that alone is a Vastu like that, or that alone is a Vishaya. Jnana Vishaya, if you take the subject of knowledge is Brahman alone. If you define Prama like this, ultimately, okay, whatever the Ghatadik Jnananam Pramatvam to Sapeksham. So again, Ghatadik Jnananam Pramatvam, that whether it is Anadigatam and Abaditam, the knowledge of pot, etc., it is all dependent, or it has a boundary condition. What is that boundary condition? Yavad Vyavaharam Abhaditartha Vishayakatvat. Only until the Vyavahara itself is there, it is Abhadita, we accept. That is the Vyavaharika. But if the Vyavahara itself is Badita, along with that, all these things are also gone. Okay. So, ahankaraha tu prama jnana ashrayaha aprama jnana ashrayascha bhavati. So, that's why we say ahankara can be a locus of both valid knowledge and erroneous knowledge or erroneous cognition. Both take place. Okay. Okay. And further, what do you say? Vrittehe atma anatma akara dvaya sattva. And that's why we have even the manovritti itself is a anatma vritti and the akhandakara vritti or atma vritti. We talk about both. All the vrittis other than the akhandakara vritti are revealing only anatma, and they are all again only valid in the vyavahara alone. Along with vyavahara, all their validity is gone. They are all negated to reveal the Brahma Ekatvam. Okay. Therefore, what tataha atmakara vrittihi prama. So only the atmakara vritti is the valid knowledge, prama. Everything else is only aprama only for us. Anatmakara vrittihi aprama. Therefore, what evam sati ahankarasya swatmastha anubhuti abhivyanjakatve na kachid anubhapattihi. So this being the case, ahankara can reveal swatmastha anubhuti, whatever the anubhuti, the chaitanya, which is there in itself, which is manifesting in itself, it can reveal that. In that there is no untenability. Then what? Once we say this, he is now asking another question. Nanu ahankara bhivyangya sa anubhutihi kim bimba bhuta yadva pratibimba bhuta. So now they are trying to ask one more question. Whatever you are saying, this ahankara is revealing chaitanya. That chaitanyam or anubhuti, is it bimba or pratibimba? It is original or the reflected? In both cases, you have a problem, they are saying. Why? Adye suprakashayaha tasyaha vyangyatvam ayuktam. So if you say it is revealing the bimba bhuta chaitanya, Then the Swaprakasha Chaitanyam, why should it be revealed by anything? It is Swaprakasha, we all say. Chaitanya or Anubhuti is Swaprakasha. You also argued for that a lot in previous sections. So, the Chaitanyam being Swaprakasha, it need not be revealed or manifested by anything. Ayuktam, that is Ayukta. If you say no, this this Pratibimba is revealed by the Ahankara, but then there will be a Karma Kartri Virodha will be there. Correct? If you say the Dvitiya option, if you say Pratibimba is the one, Pratibimba Bhuta Anubhuti is revealed by the Ahankara, but that itself is revealed to the Pratibimba Bhuta Chaitanyam only in the Ahankara. Correct? So Dvitiye Pratibimba Rahitaha Ahankaraha Kim Pratibimbam Abhivyanakti Yadva Sapratibimbaha. So again, in the case of second, do you say the Ahankara alone is revealing the Pratibimba Chaitanya? Means you cannot say that. Correct? Because Ahankara is Jada. So he is again asking two questions. If you say the Pratibimba Bhuta Anubhutihi is revealed, then it is revealed only by the Ahankara or it is revealed by the Pratibimba. Then what? Adye, if you say it is revealed only by the Ahankara, Adye Jadasya ahankarasya tadayogaha, Jada Ahankara cannot reveal that. And if you say the Dvitiya, the Pratibimba Chaitanya is revealing the Pratibimba Chaitanya, then Karma Kartrubhava Virodaha will be there. Subject and object will become the same. Therefore, whichever answer you give, you are caught in this web. Okay, iti means ma evam. Why? What do you say? Sa bhasa ahankarasya eva abhivyanjakatvat tad abhivyangya anubhutihi bimba bhuta eva. So what do we say is the sabhasa ahankara which is having the Chaitanya abhasa, correct? That is the abhivyanjakatva, means that is the one which is revealing or manifesting, means, and whatever is being manifested or revealed is the bimba only, we say. Anubhuti, the anubhuti which is being revealed or manifested is the bimba bhuta eva. Therefore, there is no karma kartri virodha. But now the first problem we have to answer. What? Swaprakasha. The bimba bhuta chaitanya being swaprakasha, how can you say that it is being revealed? Means, again we only bring the the vyavahara and paramarthika. Correct? Yavat vyavaharam samvidhi bimba bhavasya iva vedyatvasyaapi kalpitasya satvat. See, even the very idea of the Chaitanya being bimba itself is untrue, correct? It cannot be there. There is no question of any bimba, pratibimba, etc. That's what I told you. So, the status of being bimba and the very talk about pratibimba, etc. is only in vyavahara. It is all mayaya. So, therefore, mayaya vedyatvam also is there for the Chaitanya. Even though it is swaprakasha, but due to maya, avidya, it has become unknown. Therefore, the known being the known also is possible, even though it is Swaprakasha, Vedyatvasyapi Kalpitasya Satvat, because it is Avaranam is there, it is covered. And the covering has to be removed. Then it becomes Vedya, that way we say. It doesn't become an object really, even that. Only the covering is gone. The Ajnana is gone. So in that way, Vedyatvam also is there. Like the Bimba Bhava also is Vyavaharika. Vedyatvam of Chaitanyam, even though it is Swaprakasha, is also only Kalpita, it is only there in the Vyavahara. Therefore, there is no problem. Once we say this word, even then they are not happy. He is saying, Nacha Tasyaha Ahankarastatvam Ayuktam. What he is saying is, no, in the Ahankara, the Bimba Chaitanya cannot be known. Okay, that is not proper. It is not tenable. How can the Bimba Chaitanya appear in the Ahankara? Ahankara is Jada again. All these things they can say. But even that you cannot say. Na vachyam. Why? Sarva vyapinyaha tasyaha ahankarastattvasya yuktatvat. Here also it looks like ayukta, but I think it is again the way it looks at it. It's only yuktatva. It is proper. Anyway, Chaitanya is sarva vyapi. Then how can you say that it cannot be ahankarastatvam? It cannot be there for that. It is there everywhere. In ahankara also it can manifest. Otherwise, what? Yadva pratibimba rupena atmastha na anubhutihi iti vaktavyam. If you say that it cannot manifest there, then even the pratibimba also cannot be there. Okay, you cannot say that the pratibimba rupa also it cannot be there, or it is not anubhuti. We have to say whatever is there in the form of pratibimba in the ahankara, it is not anubhuti. Like that, you have to say if you say that it cannot be there. But anyway, what we say finally, ekameva hi chaitanyam upadi vashat bimba pratibimba bhavam bhajata iti kritva ahankarat bahihi bimba rupena tadantah pratibimba rupena api saeva asti iti. So finally what we say, ekameva chaitanyam. Only one chaitanya is there, Brahman is ekameva advitiyam. But upadhi vashat, everything is due to upadhi only. Due to the upadhi what? There is a bimba and pratibimba, like that vyavahara is there. Correct? The same single chaitanyam becomes reflected and original. The status of being original, reflected, all that is only in vyavahara because of maya. And in the maya dasha, what we say, the bimba chaitanya is outside the ahankara. Ahankara bahihi bimba rupena, it is there. And within the ahankara, it is there in the form of pratibimba. Even though ahankara itself is in chaitanya, like even the water is in space, it can still reflect space, correct? Something like that you can understand. Okay. So that is how we look at it. So that's how it is. The same chaitanya, Sayeva Asti, both as Bimba and Pratibimba, both as inside the Ahankara and outside the Ahankara, because it is anyway Sarvavyapi. Okay. Okay. So once we say this, what now he is saying, Nacha evam Pratibimbasyapi Bimbavad Amithyatvam Apatitam iti Vachyam. Now he is saying, but if you say like that, Bimba and Pratibimba both will become Satyam, and then Dvaita will become Satyam. Correct? That is his argument now. Okay. In fact, we flip the script. He is saying both will become Satyam. What we are saying, you cannot say that. Why? Na Vachyam. Why? Because Bimbavat Pratibimbasyapi Mithyattam Eva Agatam iti Bimba Pratibimba Anusyutam hi Vastu Satyam. See, what we are saying is both Bimba and Pratibimba are Mithya actually. There is only one Chaitanya which is Anusyuta, means what? Which is invariably there. Whether you look at it as Bimba or Pratibimba, there is there one Vastu alone is there, invariably, unchangingly in each and every cognition, and that alone is Satyam. And therefore, we look at it the other way around. We say that both Bimba and Pratibimba are Mithya, but particularly we have to say the status of being Bimba and Pratibimba is Mithya. The Vastu is always there as it is. Okay, that Vastu is Satyam. So, nahi upadhi darpanadi vigame khadehe pratibimbatvamiva bimbatvamapi nivrittam bhavati. See, this okay, na anivrittam bhavati we have to take. Okay, it is anivrittam here. So, na anivrittam bhavati. Upadhi, the upadhi like darpana, let us say it is broken or it is gone, it is not there, vigame. The mukha is no more bimba or pratibimba, correct? The bimba pratibimba vyavahara is not there for the face once the mirror is not there. Similarly, for the chaitanyam also. So you cannot say pratibimba is gone, but bimbatvam alone is there. Both bimba or pratibimba are only relative terms, correct? They depend on each other. It's all mutually dependent. So both are gone, both are mithya really. So that's why we say evam aupadika bimba pratibimba bhava apanna samvid abhivyanjakaha api ahankaraha tatparyavritya chinmatram bodhayati eva. So what we are saying in this manner, this aupadikam only, the bimba and pratibimba bhava. Okay, for chaitanyam, being the original or reflected, etc., is all due to only conditioning factors, the upadhi. and this it has got that bhava, pratibimba bhava apanna, and that samvit which is having this. For that, what the ahankara being the abhivyajaka also, what does it actually reveal finally? The akhandakara vritti is only revealing what tatparya vritya chinmatram bodhayati. Finally, it is only revealing the ekameva advitiyam satyam jnanam anandam brahma chinmatram bodhayati. And in that knowledge, both the bimba and pratibimba also are washed away. It is there is no question of status of being bimba, pratibimba, etc. That is all only valid from the standpoint of avidya itself. Once avidya itself is gone, there is no question of even subject object also is gone, correct? The triputi is gone. So where is the question of all these things? So the bimba and pratibimba are actually mithya. That is the siddhanta. Therefore, what tathacha na anugrahakasya ahankarasya yatavastita vastu pratipatti janakatva swabhavya pratyutihi api. So what we are saying is what? That is why the ahankara which is actually aiding, correct? To know our own reality by manifesting the akhandakara vritti, that can reveal the yatavastita vastu. Whatever the vastu which is there in real, the ekameva advitiyam brahma, ahankara can aid us in understanding that. So to cognize that and to produce that vritti, it has its swabhava there. So there is no nasha for that. Prachuti is not, and it is there. One has to accept that. Therefore, what yavat vyavaharam ahankare pratibimba rupena atmanaha satvat tasya arthasya yatavastita vastutvacha iti. Because still even vyavahara, whenever the pratibimba is there, then the pratibimba only points to the bimba. That's why even in the pratibimba vada, one thing what we say is really the pratibimba is not different from the bimba, correct? The bhagatyaga lakshana will work only then. So the bimba, the bimba only is known through the pratibimba. That's how we look at it. So wherever the pratibimba is there, the bimba also is known through that. And so it is only revealing yatavastita vastu for us in that way. So that itself, the pratibimba is a lakshana for the lakshya, which is the bimba. But once the lakshya is known, the bimba pratibimba status and all is gone. That's all we have to understand. And that is the siddhanta here. Okay, we'll see this later further in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.